Hi everybody, we're now going to move on to our second type of market failure, and this is looking at public goods. So the market failure that you can have is that the public goods are being under provided. So there aren't enough of these public goods being provided. Now, a public good is something which is non-excludable and it's also non-rival. If something's non-excludable, this means that you cannot exclude anyone from consuming it. So you can't stop anybody from consuming the item. Everyone is able to consume it. The second factor, something being non-rival, this means that one person consuming the good or the product does not prohibit another person from consuming it. So if you think about it, this is quite unusual. What we're saying is that you can't exclude anyone from consuming the product. And also, if you have one person consuming it, it doesn't stop another person from also consuming it. If you have a pure public good, it satisfies number one and number two. That means it's definitely a public good. If you have a quasi or quasi public good, this means that it satisfies number one or number two, so not both of them. But with a pure public good, this is likely to be underprovided by the market mechanism. If you think about this, a public good, a pure public good, is the opposite of a private good. This sweet here is a private good. A private good, you can exclude people from eating it because you have to pay a price. Maybe some people can't afford the sweet. Also, if one person eats the sweet, nobody else can eat it. So it's also rival. So it's excludable and it's rival. So a private good is the opposite of a public good. Be careful as well, a public good is nothing necessarily to do with the government. A public good is just something which meets these two criteria. And the problem with public goods, because they're non-excludable and non-rival, this means that consumers can use these without paying for them. And we call this the free rider problem. So people are using pure public goods without paying for them. And an example would be street lights. And that's what I've drawn here. So this is a street light. It's not a shower, it's a street light. This is light. And a street light is non-excludable. You can't exclude anybody from benefiting from this street light. So if we draw somebody under the street light, we can't stop them as they walk past from benefiting from this street light. There's nothing that we can do to stop this person from benefiting from the street light. Also, if this person is walking along and benefiting from the street light, it's not going to stop this person from also benefiting from the street light. So it's non-rival. This person benefiting doesn't stop this person from benefiting. Therefore, if they were to set the street lights up as a private business, How would they ask people to pay for the street light? What would you do? Would you blindfold this person when they walk past so that they couldn't benefit from it? That would be impossible and silly. You can't do that. Once some people have paid for the street light and put it there, everybody else can enjoy the street light. So all these other people, many, many people, can enjoy the street light even if they didn't pay for the street light. And therefore, this means that firms cannot make a profit from providing public goods, because there are lots of people free riding. There are lots of people who will just take advantage of the public good once it's been provided. Therefore, if firms can't make a profit from providing the public good, few firms, if any, will provide public goods. And this will mean that we'll end up with under provision of these public goods. There won't be enough of them. And another example, apart from streetlights, would be something like the army. And in many economies, we've decided, the electorate, the people who vote in that economy, have decided that actually for a good society, we need things like streetlights, we need an army. And therefore, what should we do? Because we won't have enough of these provided by firms, by private firms. And therefore, what happens in real life is that often governments use taxes to pay for public goods so that they're provided by the government. This would be a form of market intervention. But this takes us back to the beginning. If you just leave the price mechanism, the market, to provide public goods, they'll be under-provided. There won't be enough of them provided in the economy.